Virgo season is really going to fortify these other energies into us. Hey y'all, welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purposeful lives. And I'm also a tarot psychic medium, and I connect with the universe and the spirit world to bring you any messages that you may need to help navigate the ever-changing energy in on this crazy blue ball that we're flying through space on together. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm so happy you're here. If you've been here before and you're returning, I'm also happy you're here. Thank you so much for your support. Please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, share with your friends, cross-watch. For the tarot scopes, I always recommend that you watch for your sun, moon, and rising sign. These are general readings, so the messages might not always land with you, and that's okay. You can leave them for someone else and wait for the messages that are meant for you. So today we are here to talk about Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. I think we'll probably need a little bit of grounding after Leo season, although it was a really fun, fulfilling Leo season, and I hope that you got some of the Leo season magic in your world. And it's still time. There's still time. You can still go and watch your Leo season tarot scopes if you haven't. We definitely are going to have some of the fun, unapologetic energy carrying into Virgo season. So Virgo season goes from August 22nd, the evening of the 22nd, maybe the 23rd where you are, to September 21st. And so in the northern hemisphere, this is the end of summer and it is the end of winter in the southern hemisphere. And so Virgo season is a mutable sign, and mutable signs always come at the end of the earthly seasons. And then we have an Aquarius. Well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, right before Virgo season turned to Virgo season, the evening before into the morning after, the 21st to the 22nd, is our second Aquarius full moon. And if you haven't watched the replay of the Aquarius full moon live, definitely go check out the energy reading for what the Aquarius full moon is. The second Aquarius full moon is bringing us. Leo season was bookended by these Aquarius full moons, and since it's literally pretty much happening the same day that Virgo season switches over, it's within the same 12-hour period that these energies are all transitioning. It's gonna carry a lot of that Aquarius energy, and some of the Leo energy that played with the Aquarius energy of being our unapologetic weird selves, no matter what it looks like on the outside. Some other dates that you'll need to remember is Venus went into Libra on August 16th and will be there until September 10th. Now, Venus rules Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. And so when planets are always in their ruling sign, they affect us much more powerfully. And when Venus is in Libra, it really has us prioritizing our emotions when it comes to relationships, not just romantic relationships. And really, I feel like I just heard love languages. And so I could see that this is a time where we're really going to be exploring what our love languages are, and also how do we communicate that to others. The Venus in Libra will be helping us communicate our boundaries also. Any of these forms of self-love, or how we love each other, how we love each other, how we want to be loved, all that kind of stuff is really going to be stirred up for those couple weeks, or It's just under a month. Next, the Virgo New Moon is Tuesday, September 7th, and there will be a live probably like that Friday or Saturday before. Keep an eye on my social media to find out. And then we will have our full moon in Pisces right at the end of Virgo season on September 20th, which is interesting because we're going to really have kind of like a very Virgo-y Virgo season, since the full moon, a lot of the time the full moon can kind of help break up the energy of the season and can give us a nice balance to it. But we're having these moments now where the full moons are coming at the end of the season, so it's kind of like a highlight. So I'm very curious to see how this Virgo season, how the next month is kind of, I have a feeling the energy is going to kind of build up to this full moon. So all this Virgo energy is really we're still playing off of the energy from the season before. It's the theme of this year. And we're coming off of this very strong Leo Aquarius energy from Leo season, and it's being brought into Virgo season by this last Aquarius full moon. The Aquarius full moon is helping bring over this Leo season energy that was really highlighted by these Aquarius moons, and this energy of being our unapologetic self, being, even if it looked weird from the outside, and really like accepting who we are. And from Cancer season we got like, what do we really want and who are we really? And now in Virgo season, it's really about like just standing in that place, standing in who you are. I think Virgo energy sometimes can be overlooked because a lot of Virgos can appear to be introverted, or they can kind of stand off in the back. They like to be supporting players. And because it's just after Leo season, which is a very expansive energy, there is more of a contracting energy in Virgo season. And I think Virgo energy and Virgos in general can sometimes be easily overlooked because they all appear always to like have their shit together. Isn't that nice? Wouldn't that be great? Which, I have a Virgo moon, and so I have noticed that people are like, man, you really seem like you have your shit together. I'm like, well, at least it seems like I do. Maybe one day reality will catch up. So, but the really valuable thing about Virgos and Virgo energy is that they're an earth sign, and that they're usually very solid people. They usually already know what they want and what they're working towards, and they seem to be able to effortlessly balance like all the parts of their life. And so we really, that's the part of Virgo that we really need right now, especially after maybe some of the transitions or sacrifices that you felt you've been making this year in order to really step into who you are and to show up as the fullest embodiment of yourself. We really need this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Virgo season is really going to fortify these other energies into us. So you can still go back and look at your Leo season tarot scopes. You can even go back and look at Cancer tarot scopes, because you really needed to know what Cancer season was bringing you in order to tap into Leo season, and then in Virgo season, that's all getting fortified within us. So it really doesn't matter when you watch these things, you get the messages when you're supposed to get the messages. So it really is kind of it's just about, and the word boundaries kind of kept coming up, but it's more than that. We were already setting boundaries at the beginning of this journey, we've already had a lot of this energy of like setting boundaries, and this is more just the boundaries are already set. It's about maintaining them. It's about holding those boundaries. It's about holding ourselves accountable for the intentions that we've set, and not allowing ourselves or others to take advantage of that. So another piece of this about boundaries and holding ourselves accountable is our rituals and our habits. And this started coming up with the Leo full moon, that we really needed to start looking closer at not just like our rituals and our routines, because we all need routine in a certain way, but it's also like our habits within our routines and the things that we are doing on autopilot, and we just do them all the time because we're used to it, and a lot of that stuff like you have to continue doing. But we also should be recognizing maybe the habits we formed that aren't really serving us anymore. The routines we've created that aren't setting us up for success. So this is really about like self-responsibility, because that's another quality associated with Virgo, responsibility. They are an earth sign. They know how to show up. They know how to get things done. They know how to make plans. So they're can-do people. They just do it in such a subtle way that unless you have a Virgo close to you that you know, you probably wouldn't even like realize like who the Virgos are. I always feel like it's a lot of times earth signs always surprise you that they're earth signs. Because most earth signs have a good sense of humor too, but they're naturally supportive people when they're not in their shadow, at least. But we all have a shadow. It's for every sign. Every sign has a light and a shadow side. So we're trying to focus on the light side of this energy. But there's always lessons that come with this energy also. And that brings us to our tarot card of the season, which is the Hermit. Virgo is associated with the Hermit card in the Major Arcana, and this is part of like why I feel like Virgo can get a bad rap, because they can easily isolate and be introverted. But I know a lot of Virgos that once you get them out of their shell, they're like out of their shell and they're like, we're gonna do this now. And so with the Hermit, and this is really great for this season, because the Hermit is all about like learning also. It's represented by a masculine figure. And if you notice that they are actually on top of a mountain here, like looking down on creation. And then you see the light in their lantern, and then the staff is actually very symbolic also. Staffs have been used as symbols in all sorts of beliefs and religions for a long time, and it's a symbol of like the way shower, the leader of the person that knows the way. And then we have the like literal light representation of light, and that's also of idea. And the thing about the Hermit is that, knowledge is power for sure, and Virgo is not a dummy at all. I feel like it's very rare to find a struggling Virgo. We're all human though. And the thing about the Hermit is though that the Hermit has to come out of their cave eventually. You can't just like hoard all this knowledge and education to yourself. You have to share it eventually. That is like a big lesson and message of the Hermit. And when it comes to this Virgo season, it's really great because we're having it highlighted by this Libra in Venus, and we're carrying over our lessons from Cancer and Leo season. And so, and this has all been about learning about ourselves, really, and learning about like how we are with people, and how we are with ourselves, and how we are in the world. And now it's time to fortify that and stand in it. Let's see, they're standing strong. They're looking down like, oh, there's probably some people I should let know what's going on. So it is about that, about being honest too about these things that we've learned about ourselves with those around us. So that's the general overview for Virgo season. Please be sure to follow me at Meryl's Mystic on all platforms so that you can dive deeper with me throughout the season. I do a live for the new moon and the full moon, and then those energy overviews will be posted on YouTube. Cool. Let's get into your Tauroscopes. Hello, my beautiful Taurus. How are you? So happy you're here. Oh my gosh, everything just started jumping out. Let's see what's going on here. So it's interesting already. I can see like a color theme going on in these cards. See that? Which is fun. Love those synchronicities. So this is what hopefully Virgo season is gonna help work out for you, because it seems like everyone's kind of getting the here's what we're working on. Alright, so 5 of Wands in reverse. So the 5 of Wands comes up in reverse for me, as my interpretation, is when there's a lot of like internal conflict going on inside your cute little brain, and it's, you know, it could also be your head and your heart arguing. It's many voices, many different opinions, and we're just like, mine's right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. So then you're just like, I don't even know. So this could even be, I mean, it could even get to the point where you can't decipher what's happening in your head. And between your head and your heart, like there's all this stuff going on in your head, and then your heart's like, well, we want this thing, and then there's like all these voices in the head being like, but you want this, and maybe this, and maybe this, and maybe that, and then you're like start asking outwardly, which is why I'm wondering if this like 3 of Cups is part of that, where it's just like, and now we're asking other people, and it's like they're not adding anything of value to it either. They're just probably making you more confused. So then this can also make you then shut down and then want to indulge in numbing activities that just let us forget our problems, but don't necessarily solve them. So I just first I want to start off saying, like, it's fair. I feel like there's this energy that's like, it's okay. It's fair to feel this way. It's totally human to be in this position. It's totally human then to reach outside of ourselves for answers, and it's totally human to just then like say, fuck it, I'm just gonna go party and I don't want to think about this anymore. Like, it feels a little bit, there's like a little bit of a going off the deep end, but not totally. Like, I feel like it takes a lot for Taurus to totally go off the deep end, and it doesn't quite feel like that. We're not at that level yet, but we are a little bit of this like, if I don't know what to do, then just like, I'm just not gonna do anything, but I don't want to think about it, so I'm just gonna go forget about it. It's like, well, that's gonna work. It's like a temporary band-aid. Like, it just feels like you're putting a little temporary band-aid on the situation, and it's not even like a good temporary band-aid. It's like you put that band-aid on, then you go dancing and you sweat that band-aid right off. So with this comes the King of Wands, and he's like looking over at all this stuff like, we could be doing better. Like, what are y'all doing? And everyone's over here like fighting and partying and doing whatever they want and throwing whatever they want. And the King's like, come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. You're better than this. Like, I get it. We all got, like, worked up. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, but, like, come on. Let's remember who we are, okay? Let's remember who you are, Taurus. You're the shit. You got this. You know, you got your shit. Like, I don't know many Taurans that don't. But it can be hard for you too, because you're so used to, like, being good at really finding, like, where you're comfortable, like finding your home space and finding your routines and just getting into your life. And then you can easily kind of create your life. But a lot of stuff has happened the last year or so, and I'm sure for you, like everybody, something's happened that's just, like, thrown you off of what you're used to feeling. And that's coming up a lot for a lot of people and a lot of the signs. It's just like, okay, I know you're used to feeling this way, but things are getting shaken up a little bit. It's for your own good. It is, I promise you. Otherwise, the King of Wands wouldn't be showing up at all. They'd be like, I'm not even going to deal with you. You go over there and do your thing. But I feel like they've come to overlook this thing because it's just like, come on. Like, I know this is hard, and I know that it's not something that you want to deal with, but you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to do something. So let's see what we're going to have to do. Oh, okay, interesting. More choices. 7 of Cups. There's a choice that has to be made. It's gonna have to be made. It seems like the Hermit keeps showing up. Seems like Virgo season will be the time to make it, or you have until the end of Virgo season to figure out what's going on. It's your life, Taurus. It's your life. And it's almost feeling like you're so used to being in control of your life and being happy with your life. All of a sudden, you don't feel like you really are in control. You're not as happy as you usually are, or you were hoping, or something happened where you're just sad, which is fine. You be sad if you got to be sad. But there's a choice that's needing to be made, and it has to do with, like, your emotional state and what's going to fulfill you. But also, this is like taking this energy and trying to get you to compartmentalize and, like, pros and cons lists, but also it's about more than just, like, the physical thing of what you see. I think sometimes when we do pros and cons lists, we're, like, sticking to the facts. But for you, whatever the situation is, this is like, you also need a pro and con your feelings and, like, how these things make you feel. And even, like, if you're trying to, like, manifest the outcome, you need to be very specific about how you want to feel in your outcome. Okay? Yeah, Virgo season's the time, because then we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is, it's feeling like they're trying to get you here. They're trying to get you to your highest evolved self, and you've been knocked off your throne a little bit. And it's like this is where you usually at. Here you are. See, even the Taurus bulls. I mean, this is the highest evolution of all the Earth signs, but it really feels like you today, Taurus. It really does, and it feels like this is where you usually are, and you've just been kind of thrown off your tower, thrown off your throne, and they're trying to get you back on. And that's why your buddy, the King of Wands, came. It's like, here's our friends. And the other king is like, hey man, you're better than this. Time to stop like wallowing, because I think that can easily happen because you're so not used to being like down and depressed and not feeling aligned with your life, that you can easily just wallow in it like, woe is me. And it's time to not do that, and it's time to take a little bit of control and realize that you have the power to take your power back. You have the power to make these choices, okay? You do. You have the power, and they're trying to instill that power in you. But it's valid that these things have kind of thrown you for a loop, okay? But this Virgo season really is coming in to like remind you that you are also like magical and magnetic and awesome, and you can rebuild again. You can feel the way you felt again. You can feel your best self again. You really can. And I think with the Hermit showing up, it's not just like, you know, this will happen in Virgo season, which it will, but it's like telling you too that like you have Virgo season still to like go inward and do some like real nurturing work. This is not the time to like go keep partying with the friends, okay? Because you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it to numb, and that's not what needs to happen right now. So a little retraction in the season's good too, and to figure out what you really want. It's just time to reevaluate. What do you really want? Okay? Time to reevaluate. Ooh, this is perfect! Realization. I don't know if I'm pulling some new ones today. Number 3, waxing crescent 1. It's a little sliver there. Realization. These are clearly not American. In America, we spell with a Z because we think we know better. I don't know. Number 3. Realization. With self-awareness comes realization. Knowledge is power. Self-examination of your role within a situation is important. I have timely self-awareness and act upon my realizations. That is the affirmation. I have timely self-awareness and act upon my realizations. I have timely self-awareness and act upon my realizations. Trying to make up songs, but it's not working out. I have timely self-awareness and act upon my realizations. As we move into the early waxing cycle, light begins to shine upon the shadows, illuminating what is. This is the beginning of a powerful process. Realization. It's one of those words where if you say it over and over, all of a sudden you think you're saying it wrong. Like, is that how you say it? When we decide to really examine our lives without fear or favor, it can be hard. This is no doubt an act of courage. We might not like what we discover after all, yet without self-awareness and the will to act upon those realizations, whether we perceive them as negative or positive, we do not get to change. We do not get to change and grow. We do not get to change and grow without that self-realization. The realization that we have a pattern, a bad habit, or a behavior that is causing us pain is a powerful position. Perfect examination for Virgo season. Even though we may feel worry and pain around the discovery, we can then take personal responsibility to change our situation since we know our current position. Knowing ourselves more completely enables us to accept ourselves more readily and to dare to love exactly who we really are. Companion Stone Aventurine. Oh, this is perfect. It is. It's realizing too, like, where you are and where you want to be, and how, and that you have the power and the ability to get yourself there again. Okay? All right, Taurus, I love you. I believe in you. You're gonna do it. You're gonna feel your awesome self once again. And if you need any help doing that, you let me know. And I will see you for Libra season. Bye.